What's up, you guys? It's Bats here, and we're back here with our boy Cory from Team Outkast representing. What do you got for us today, bro?
Fifth place deck profile from the UDS this past weekend is Ritual Beast.
Ritual Beast. Okay, I'm down. Let's go ahead and see what this is. Let's go ahead and frame it up and check out that profile.
Well, yeah, after ban list, because before the ban list I did have other cards. I wasn't able to play Monster Board at Solemn Judgment, but
Truth.
I took a lot of other cards out and tested out other ideas, and it seems to run much better.
Nice. All right, proceed.
All right, so we got 3 Ritual Beast Tamer Elder. He is your Gem Knight Seraph Knight of the deck, basically additional normal summon upon summon.
Nice.
2 Ritual Beast Tamer Wen. She's the Norden for your banished. Other than that, she isn't worth anything. Probably my favorite right now is I was about to say El Winda, because this one is Spiritual Beast Tamer Winda. The best thing is her name, Spiritual Beast Tamer Winda. So basically, you have Spirit Beast and then you have Ritual Beast, and technically, this counts as a tamer and one of the beasts as well as its own name. So it counts for both. You always have Way to Fusion if you open up her.
Okay.
Her other thing is when she's destroyed by battle or by card effect and sent to the graveyard, I get to special summon any Ritual Beast extract monster from my deck for free.
So Gladiator Beast players, this is what you should be playing.
Yeah,
I don't know why you keep bringing that deck back.
Well, see, it's only because they think they're going to get their Link monster sooner, but they didn't.
Well.
And then you have Ritual Beast Tamer Lara. She's the monster reborn of the deck, which she's really good. Her and Wen are probably my 2 favorites out of Elder Kanahawk combos, because you open up Foolish Burial for her, or Monster Reborn technically in another Tamer, or Gold Sark and her, you end up with the full combo. Zephyr and Pelika because it's another name and it's another Monster Reborn. On to the beasts, 3 Kanahawk, your Gold Sark with legs, and it's not once per turn. So technically, if you bring it back twice, you get 2 banishes out of it for free.
Okay.
A 3 Ritual Beast around Pangu. So the whole combo with these 2 is if you open up Elder and one of these 2, you end up with, I think you can end up with 2 Steeds. But if you do this combo, you end up with 2 Winda, the Link monster, Steeds, and Ambush.
Dope.
And it's basically the same exact combo. One Apelio, because he sucks ass, and so does this one. He's only good just because he gives him a little bit of a boost. This one just bounces back stuff, but they're just there for names.
They're basically names. Okay, that makes sense.
Otherwise, you really don't use them too much. The Paleo more for the rest of the plays. And then 2 Ghost Ogre, Snow Rabbit, 2 Ash Blossom, and Joy Spring.
All right.
Technically, there was a Max C here this past weekend, but you know, I'm playing with ban list in mind.
So I'm guessing that Maxi turned into a Monster Reborn.
Yep, yes. Definitely.
Like everybody else's did.
Monster Reborn.
Dope.
Spell cards, 3 Golden Sarcophagus. And then, basically, you know what that is. Banish 2, get it back in 2 turns. E-Telly, special summon level 3 Psychic, which almost all of them are. And then banish it during the end phase. Monster Reborn!
There you go.
Cards the nanners when you open up a Tamer and a Foolish Burial, or a Foolish Burial and anything, you just kind of win.
Bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S. It's bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Foolish Burial. That's it for spells. For traps, I play a lot. 3 Solemn Strike, and then 3 Ritual Beast Steeds. Steeds is non-targeting destruction. So if I played this weekend, my opponent had brought out, he was playing Cubics, he brought out the really big one, the 3000 that burns for 3000 end phase.
Oh, okay. Like the fusion monster, right?
No, the normal monster just brings it out and like he attacks twice, and I can't remember the name of it. And I had to face an anti-spell as well with it, and he goes set 4 back row, summon him. I'm like, he's like a Tempt enter battle phase, is like chain, tag out for 2, so that gives me 3, ambush for 2 more, and then Steeds is in type board. So Steeds plus anti-spell is just broken, which,
speaking of which,
you know, we don't want your opponent to play, so the less chance they have to get going, the better you have. Cleaves,
Truth.
Pendulums, and anything in between. Ambush, your Infernity launcher of the deck. Target 1 from graveyard and 1 from target. You can target 2 in graveyard, 2 in banished, or 1 in 1, depending on the situation. And special summon them in defense. But you only use this once per turn. Steeds is multiple times.
Cool.
So evenly matched. Blowout against any pendulum deck. Oh, cool! You basically have to extend your hand to win. Matchup.
Yep.
One Solemn Warning, another Solemn Judgment.
And editing magic.
Exactly. And that's for the main deck. It's actually 43 cards, and it actually got much more consistent after I put all that extra stuff in.
Nice. I always found that funny. You know, 40 cards, you can find a bunch of bricks. You add it, 1 extra card, 2 extra cards, and it starts working.
Perfect.
Because you have a target sometimes. Sometimes you just need a target.
Yeah. The card I wish should have come back up to 2, because then you don't have to practically lose to back row every game. When your opponent sets like 4 back row, you're like, well, I'm not going to make this at all. Counter Fairy is this deck's worst matchup. You basically don't ever make this unless you go first. But this is the reason why this deck is broken, is because of this card technically. If I bet Ace remembers that format when Ritual Beast first came out.
Well, I mean, you know, it was the one deck that I didn't hate because that was Necros, that was Cleaforts, that was Burning Abyss, that was Teller Knights, and then it was Shadal's. Yes. And it was a mess, and that was the only deck I didn't hate.
I don't know why.
Because I was playing Geargia at the time, I think.
See, this deck, when it had full power, it was like, oh, cool, I'm going to spend the first 20 minutes doing what I want to do, and then I'm going to give it to you.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, cool. Now I'm going to... The beer match probably was like, oh, we each take 20-minute turns, and then we win.
Go to time.
Exactly. Basically, you send 2... So its effect is you send 2 in your graveyard, or 2... You target 2 of your banished, send them to graveyard, search a card. Chain its secondary effect, which is target 2, special summon them. So if you have 3 targets in your banished, you end up using... the 2 of them to special summon, you search, and then you bring the other 2 back out. And then that's the full combo. Pedofin Dolphin. Now that we have 3 Torrential, I'm going to see myself going into this card a lot more.
Yeah.
Make this cool. You want to trench my board? Cool, it doesn't die. This is also your out to sleeper.
Oh, yeah.
Cool, you can't destroy it. And with the Link monster, mine becomes 3,300. Or not 33, it's 3,400. Enjoy the rest of your day. And they all have the effect to jump out on your opponent's turn and bring out 2 more. The one time Anna loves this card, Ulti Guy Paleo.
I made it once, it's all good.
I never make this card ever. 9 times out of 10. I'm probably going to try and put in Bonds at some point into this deck.
Yeah.
But I ended up I was playing against Anna, and she made a Rivalry of the Warlords. I had nothing but Psychics, and I ended up with a Monster Reborn, an Ambush, and a bunch of other cards. Like, okay, let's see what we can do to try and make this guy. Because if I make him, I'm probably going to win with multiple cards in hand. So I can't remember exactly what I did. I think she ran into my window. No, I turned my window into attack mode, ran into it, took like 1,500 points of damage, brought out the extra deck, the Link monster for this deck, and then I had 2 Tamer, or 1 Psychic Tamer, and I brought out another one turned into this. And he's a Gladiator Restore Cleanups, basically. For all those who don't know, he discards Ritual Beast cards and negates spells and traps. 2 Ritual Beast, Ultia Paleo. He's usually just there for body, and he's unaffected by stuff when he attacks.
Dope.
1 Toad.
Wait, what?
Reaper's target.
Okay.
I
was gonna say, you're playing Shark in here? How are you playing Shark?
I wish I did. This is actually just for Reaper target.
Okay.
There is supposed to be a Baguska, but it's fine. I have one probably home.
Baguska.
There we go. Lightning Chidori. I don't think I ever really made this card. I ended up one time against the same Cubic player. Game 3, I didn't have enough to game him. I left him with like 200 life points with a face anti spell. And then I overlaid into a Baguska and won. Reaper target.
Alright.
Can make it sometimes. Yeah. And the real reason this deck is degenerate and busted as Living Daylights is this card.
Yeah, I pulled a couple of those in our Extreme Forces box, so explain what this does for our new players.
Alright, so for the new players and everything, this card, it's a link to, so you have your 2 skills, like, so basically, one pass my link marker, or my center field thing. Also on the center field thing, so it's kind of nice.
Oh, nice, alright. I need one of those.
So basically, if it's right here, and this is your center field, you have these 2 spots.
Okay.
The corners.
Cool.
So in essence, zone 1, zone 5, and then zone 3.
Alright.
Or column 3, whatever you wish to call them.
Yeah.
So when this is summoned, you can banish 1 Ritual Beast monster from your 1 Ritual Beast card from your graveyard. Get an additional normal summon. So I had some people try to roll the fact that Elder says you get to normal summon again. This is the wording of all the true Draco spells and trap cards where they say you get an additional summon to it.
On top of it, okay.
So it makes it to where you can use that for that ability. Any card that this card is pointing to gains an additional 600 if it's a Ritual Beast. So on top of that, you have an additional normal summon, what else is it? a bigger body basically, and then it tags out itself as well.
Okay, that's pretty handy.
Talker, because at times you can make it.
It's a good Reaper target too.
And a good Reaper target, and Borrowload Dragon, because
Borrowload
Dragon.
Dope. Well, that being said, let's get into the standards. You know the drill, man.
Sir.
All right, favorite part of playing the deck?
Really combo oriented. It's when it doesn't break, it's actually really consistent. I'm still working on the minor details. There are times when I want to put in pod desires to fix that. But my favorite part of the deck is the boards it can make are extremely powerful. They're really hard to break. Even Spirals would have a hard time because, like I said, Steeds is non-targeting removal. So like you destroy it even if they have the field spell out there and it doesn't matter. But like I said, it's just the deck has a lot of different combos, unique playstyle. It's a really combo heavy deck. And you really actually need to know what you're doing tonight. This way you don't make a mistake midway through it and ruin the whole combo.
True. All right. Least favorite part of the deck?
The bricks.
The bricks.
There are some hands where you can just end up looking at your hand and like, wow, I just lost because you draw all traps, or you're just like, well, this isn't going to end good for me today.
Yu-Gi-Oh! 101 happens.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I guess then moving forward in the Vrains era in this Trickstar heavy post-ban list format without any Pendulum Magicians or any Spirals, now that I'm saying that, it's going to be still heavy Pendulum Magicians and Spirals, of course.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right. How do you feel about playing this deck going forward?
I feel like actually it's going to be really, really viable.
Yeah?
I feel with the format, the way it's changed, I guess the only thing it does, like I said, the reason the deck does have its issues is against back row. I think Trickstars actually help them out more than they think, because even if they decide to go ahead and go, here's a reincarnation, banish your hand, it's like, oh no, you just completely blessed me so hard. Because if I open up like Tamer, or like Tamer, Beast, and I'm like, oh cool, I didn't draw any real good combo pieces, and all of a sudden, like when Monster Reborn, I'm like, oh cool, you just lost out.
Yeah, set themselves up. Good deal.
So I feel like against Trickstars, it's going to have a great matchup. Cleaves, it has a pretty good matchup against because of Steeds and just being able to mainboard anti-spell.
Yeah.
Anti-spell is going to win so many games with it now. Like, mainboarding an anti-spell against any deck now is just kind of like, cool, I set you back one more turn. You don't get your consistency cards.
Truth.
What else are we going to have? I think Pendulum Magician and Spiral, same thing. Pendulum Magician will have a hard time with an anti-spell, basically.
Yeah.
And
especially since they can't Joker now.
Exactly. And then Spiral, just because they are going to be a lot more inconsistent now with having only one resort. I don't know what else. I think I've heard Zephyr were starting to make some noise because like
they're making some. We're making a splash on the OCG too.
I think other than that, I feel like this deck has a pretty decent matchup with everything going into it. I think it just comes down to the pilot of the deck. If you know how to pilot the deck really well, there is a guy who, even I can't remember his name. If I knew his name off the top of my head, I'd be able to say it. Shout out to him too. He did make 11th place out of 400-person regionals playing Ritual Beast in the format of Joker and Double Iris and 3 Resort playing Ritual Beasts. You know, so props to him.
And that is pre-Link too, or the pre-Link monster.
Exactly,
by the way.
which was like 2 weeks ago, I think it was he had.
Yeah.
But in essence, that is what I would say the strengths of this deck is. It's consistent. When it's consistent, it's consistent. When it breaks, it breaks. But the power sailing on it is really high up there. The ability to give an extra 600 with the Link Monster effect and with 500 for Paleos, you can end up board with like an extra 1,1700 attack points on any monster. So,
all right, boys and girls, you heard it first. Team Outkast representing. All right, and on that bombshell, Ace of Bats signing out.
See ya.
Peace.